Hello, how are you? Hello. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, jumping on with some serious fire. Hopefully everybody is good and having a fabulous day today. It's beautiful here. It's nice and cool and relaxing. It's Sunday, Soulful Sunday. And I am jumping on so that I can talk to you about how to create your own girl boss bucket list. So we're going to have some fun today. Yay! Welcome. It's LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense. I'm tongue-tied, y'all. I guess because I've been speaking all weekend. LaShanda Henry here, aka Sister Sense, always here to help you make sense of making money online. Hopefully I am right on time. If you are participating live or whether you're watching the replay, just say hey. Drop in a comment box, let me know who you are and what you are up to. I actually just literally got home. I had a beautiful, wonderful, blessed weekend at the Aloft Hotel in Raleigh because I had a girl boss weekend and it was totally impromptu, totally spur of the moment, last minute, and guess what? It was fabulous. I had actually 5 fabulous ladies join me, and I want to talk to you today about getting what you want. I wanted to do this. I wanted to create this experience, and I thought I was crazy for doing it. I still think I'm crazy, but sometimes you need a little bit of crazy in your life. So today I want to talk to you about what you want and how you can actually get what you want by creating your own girl boss bucket list. Let's look at this. Girl boss bucket list. Can you see it? We had an awesome mastermind unwind session on Saturday. And we sat in the hotel lounge and the music was going and my girl Rochelle Shaw was chilling with us. You know, MDE, the $1 Million Equation. You know my girl Rochelle. She's awesome. She was here speaking all weekend. She said, LaShanda, let's do this. I need to see you. And I was like, boo, I need to see you too. So I kind of decided to make it an experience and not only see the fabulous Rochelle, but bring some of you guys into my world and just have a girl boss content creation / must-have relaxation session. So in that experience, I want to talk to you about what you need to do to get what you want. And we're going to dive into some pieces of creating your own girl boss bucket list today. Now, if you feel like this is something that some of your people need to hear, feel free to share this out because, of course, sharing is caring, or tag them and say, listen, you need to watch this today. All right. So first thing that I'm going to say is thank you to all the fabulous ladies who flew from Atlanta and drove from Virginia and right here in North Carolina to be like, girl, I'm coming. I'm coming. Because literally, I decided to do this Friday and I was trying to put it all together. And by the time I got everything together for Girl Boss Weekend, it was like 11 o'clock. And I was like, LaShanda, nobody's going to read nobody's email at midnight. And something in me said, just send it out. And I sent it out, and lo and behold, ladies just started popping in and saying, yeah. And then, you know, I woke up at like 4:30 in the morning, and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that. I'm so crazy. I'm scheduling an impromptu workshop. What the hell am I doing? You know, sometimes you do things, and you're like, yeah, that's a great idea. This feels good. And then all of a sudden you do it, and you're like, oh my God, what did I do? Right? You start freaking out. That was me at 4:30 in the morning after crazily sending out to my list, hey, come and join me for a weekend, girl boss. Yeah, right? But sometimes you got to be afraid and do it anyway. I could not have imagined or asked for or prayed for a more amazing experience. And it's funny because I always have my workshop in January, and I plan that and I launch it and I promote it from September to January. I do all I need to do, and this came through and pulled through in 24 hours. So I say that to say to you, number one, boo, what do you want? For those of you who are watching live or via the replay, I want you to think about those things that you really, really want. And what I'm going to do is walk you through the bucket list. Hey, boo, what's up? Welcome. I'm going to walk you through this girl boss bucket list that I created for the ladies, and we worked through this during our mastermind unwind. And you know I like to unwind when I'm sitting on here rocking on my porch hanging with you. So I'm going to take you inside of this right here. Now, before I even dive into this, let me say this. I know some of you were like, girl, I can't be there and I want to be in North Carolina. I may do another one of these Girl Boss weekends before the summer is over. So make sure that you're on my email list so you can get the alert. And I will do it a few more weeks in advance. I will give you more than 24 hours. But I am going to do a virtual Girl Boss next weekend, and you can participate in that, and you can sign up at sistasense.com, SISTASENSE, sistasense.com/girl boss. So some of the amazing that we did this week and this weekend, we talked about content creation and monetization, and of course your bucket list, and I'm going to take you inside the bucket list today. Some of that good we're going to do next week Saturday. So if you want to be a part of the virtual, definitely. Somebody said, OMG, great to see you. So good to see you as well, Kim. Welcome, sweetie. We are going to do Girl Boss round 2, the virtual edition, next weekend. All right. So if you are across the globe or in the States, across the other side from me, and you want to have some of that experience, the virtual, it's still good too. All right, now let's dive into the meat and potatoes. Meat and potatoes is me asking you, girl, what do you want? I'm going to share with you some questions that you should be asking yourself. Just like people say, you got to have a bucket list for your life, right? You got to have a bucket list for your business so that you're not just going off of feeling or emotion or survival mode, but you are working in a space of strategy and intention, right? So number 1, you want to drop in the comment box for me, ST, because that's me all day, every day. I'm sorry, not ST, but SI, strategy and intention, SI. Drop that in the comment box because that's where you need to be. And you also need to be in a space where you can intentionally get to the things that you want. And in order for you to do that, you got to speak them out. You got to write them down. You got to make them happen. I wanted my ladies in my world, in my circle, in my little globe, right? I wanted them there. And so many of you came out and hung out with me. I believe where 2 or 3 are gathered in his name. Amen. Beautiful things happen. And it was an amazing experience. I was like, maybe I get one person. Maybe I get one person to come out. I mean, Lord, I said like 5 hours ago, do you want to come and hang out with me? And I said, you know what? No, I want to specifically say I'm putting this out there for 2 to 5 awesome women, and 5 women came out, 5 fabulous ladies. You got to put out what you want. I said, listen, I want 2 to 5 women to come out and hang with me this weekend. And 5 fab came out, plus me, plus Rochelle, and we had an amazing time. So, all right, let's go in. Let's dive into the whole, well, I can't give you the whole bucket list because some of this we're going to do in the workshop next weekend. But we will start off the conversation, right? So let's see, there's so many goods in here. We did video marketing this weekend. We did podcasting. We did so much stuff. Let me dive into, let me see here. Where do I want to start with you? Oh, okay. So one of the things that I did was I unboxed my birthday gift to myself, which was beautiful, a new HP computer. I spent a grip well over $2,000 on this computer. Hurt my heart. You ever watch Sanford and Son? And he's like, Lord, take me down. This is the most I've ever spent on a computer. But I made it happen because I said to myself, one of the things that I have on my business bucket list this year is really stepping up my video marketing game. Kim is laughing at me. Really stepping up my video marketing game. And hopefully you've seen on my YouTube channel, I've been working on these new videos for a new series. I needed a few things to do that, right? Number 1, I needed some great mobile tools. So I have a ring light. Anybody have a ring light? Man, that thing is bright, y'all. I have a ring light. I mean, natural lighting is the best. Obviously, you'll see me here on my porch more often than not. But when I'm inside, I needed something else. So I got a lot of these lighting tools. And then number 2, I said, listen, Bless her heart. But you know your car, and you call the car Betsy. You know, this is old Betsy right here. My old computer, my old HP was my Betsy, and she died on me. And I was like, if I really want to do this video editing thing, I have to get a better computer. So I spent a grip on it. Next on the list, the way this checking and savings is set up. Okay, good. So you got it on your list too? So I decided that, you know what, go big or go home. You really want to get better at video marketing. You really want to have the right tools. Get the best computer out there. And I did. By the way, I'll let y'all know. I'll send, you know, a link to all the good stuff that I've Bert. Where does that come from? That I bought. Oh, I was thinking stuff that I got for my birthday. So I wanted to say bought and birthday at the same time, and it came out as Bert. I will send you my birthday list. But you've got to put some things on your business bucket list, right? What do you need right now? That's number one. Whether it's a mobile app, whether it's a web software, a web tool, whether it's a technology gadget. I've got all of these different questions for you, and I've actually got them outlined here, and so that you can go in this. All the ladies who came out for the Girl Boss Weekend got this, and those who will be participating in the virtual conference next weekend at sistersense.com/girlboss will get this as well. But these are all these amazing questions that you need to be asking yourself right now. So those of you who are actually live with me right now and or watching the replay, it's okay. All is good. I want you to ask yourself some of these questions that I'm going through today, but then you can drop them in the comment box too. So what do you need? What mobile apps do you need? What web tools do you need? What goals do you want to accomplish? What projects do you want to work on right now? For me, my video projects are essential, right? I don't know if you've been watching all the good that's happening right now on Facebook. Like, everybody has a Facebook series. I'm like, what? All of a sudden you got Jada Pinkett and all her peoples on the red table. Anybody watch the red table? I ain't gonna lie, I ain't watch all the episodes, but I've been watching the red table. And then you've got Tia, and she's got her fabulous series, you know, Sister. Everybody is doing what they need to do to come out with their brand shows. And you want to build like a boss too, you got to make sure that your branding and your visibility is exactly what it needs to be. So for me, I'm working on my video game and stepping that up. So I had to have the right tools. I got the new laptop, I got the new lighting, I'm ready to go, the new editing software. But in order for you to get there, you have to prepare. What do you want? What do you need? What are you putting on your bucket list? Okay? So, first thing I said to you, technology. What tools? What gadgets do you need? Okay? I'm going to be honest with you. The computer that I bought for my birthday, I wanted that computer last year. And I kept going into Best Buy like, so, can a sister get a coupon? Can I get a discount? Is it going on sale? Do you have like student discounts? What's going on? I was preparing to get that computer for last year, and God is good. I finally have it, and I'm gonna break it all the way in so I can start churning out these videos like nothing else. It doesn't necessarily mean that the things that you want you're going to get today, right? It may take a year, may take 2 years, may take a little bit more time that you thought. I'm sitting on my porch. When I think about it, we've been living in North Carolina for going on 12 years now. And hey, welcome, sweetie. Welcome. And we've been living in North Carolina for going on 12 years now. The first 5 years we lived in an apartment, and now I'm sitting on my porch. It took 5 years to get a house, right? I got to see everybody in their house. I got to be in a space where I'm sitting in that apartment, and my hubby used to say, I like to put frames. I'm a frames person. Like my mom and I, we like to get stuff from the home store and all these little trinkets and put it around the house. And my hubby would be like, you ain't putting nothing on the wall. You ain't painting the wall. I'm like, I want to paint the wall. I want to put up my frames. And when we moved from New York to 5 years later, I had no frames, no pictures. Everything was in boxes. And he said, we're not doing that. The minute we start painting and putting pictures on these doggone walls, we have committed to staying here. This is not where we are planning to stay. We're getting a house. So that was on the bucket list. Where do you want to be? One of the things that I ask you in this is, where do you want to be by the end of the year? Where do you want to be in 3 years? business bucket list. Because the reality is, hold on, I got to do a mommy moment in 2 seconds, but let me finish my statement first. The reality is, it may not happen today, but you got to prepare for it. So mentally, we process no pictures on the wall, no painting, no getting comfortable, because this is not going to be our reality forever, right? 5 years later, bless God, now we're going on 6 years in the house. This year was our 5th year in this home, and next year will be 6 years in. So it's so important for you to work on that girl boss bucket list. Because listen, if you in an apartment right now and you sitting there, you dreaming about your home, don't get comfortable. Don't get comfortable, because you know this is not your end. It's just a part of the story. Thank you, sweetie. I appreciate you. Mommy moment. 2 seconds. Yes?
Dad wants the computer.
It's upstairs in the office.
Where?
The computer's on my desk. And the charger's in my book bag. I just texted him and told him that. You're gross. Don't have little boys. They're gross. I'm just telling you. Feel free to drop in the comment box for me. What computer did you purchase? I love HP all day, every day. So I got another HP. But I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a hardware girl. So I'm like, listen, I need to just go and make a list of all the good that I got for my birthday, all of which is on Amazon. Who loves Amazon? If I'm not an Amazon girl, I can't tell you, but I got my ring light, my, all this good. So I said, I'm going to make a list and I'm going to send it to y'all. As a matter of fact, you know where I'm going to put it? The same page that has all the information about girl boss stuff, okay? So it's an HP, but forgive me, I can't tell you which one because I don't know. Rebecca says, I hate to love Amazon. I feel you, boo. I so feel you. If I have a little bit of time, I promised my son, because he and his dad were working really hard for me this weekend. I had I had the workshop in Raleigh when the ladies came out. We just rolled up into the driveway, right? He's like, Mommy, what are you going to do now? And I'm like, I'm about to do a web class. And he's, you just did a speaking all weekend. We usually Netflix and chill at this point. So after I do that, whether it be tonight or tomorrow, I'll try to give you guys the list. And I will post it for you at sistersense.com/girlboss. GIRLBOSS. Because I'm ride or die HP. Because they ride or die with me. My HPs last me for years. And my new one, whew, it is beautiful. It is, if a lot of people just like who are not PC people are Mac people and they're like, Mac is it. This new HP is the equivalent of a Mac Pro for me. And I was thinking about getting a Mac, but I'm really a PC girl, so this is perfect. It's beautiful. It's super fast. Okay, I'll tell y'all about that later. Let's keep going with your bucket list because this ain't about me. But right now, when you do go to sistersense.com/girlboss, number one, you can sign up to the virtual that's happening live next week because I want to give you the experience that the ladies experienced live here in Raleigh this weekend. I want to give you some of that good. And number two, as a matter of fact, I want to work with you this summer. Quite a few of you, if you're not in my mastermind, you can literally get a 90-day pass to the Fire Starter Circle Mastermind, $30 for the whole 90 days. So spend the whole summer with me and my ladies in the mastermind for $30. Okay, so and then when I get an opportunity, I'm going to drop the link in there to share with you all the good technology tools I got. But as I'm sharing that with you, really more importantly, I want you to think about for yourself what you know you want. What you know you want. Now, I'm talking about different girl boss bucket list goals. For me, thinking about where you want to be in 3 years, where you want to be next year. And let me just pause right there for a second. Where do you know you want to be next year? Where do you know you want to be in 3 years? These are really important questions, and not just about your business, but about where do you want to be in your life? It's funny. I was talking to quite a few ladies in my circle, right? So Rochelle Shaw, one of my business besties, is just so fabulous. And she lives in Vegas. And she and her daughter, in a couple of weeks, they're going to Hawaii, which is totally awesome. One of my clients, Marceline, next week, she's going to Italy and Greece. One of my clients, Eva, she's in Ghana right now. And I'm like, y'all trying to make me feel bad. y'all just doing all this good. I'm like, okay, so where am I going to be? Tequila says, living in Georgia. Awesome. Rebecca says, working from computer anywhere in the world. Awesome. You want to be able to be in a space where you start to really visualize for yourself what you want, but also make the plans for them too, right? So you want to be in Georgia. You know, it's funny, when we said, okay, it's time to get out of New York, right? That was the dream. That was the vision. We decided to come to North Carolina and just check it out. So we stayed here for, I think, somewhere between 3 to 5 days. And I will never forget, Jay's mom said, okay, well, if you're going to come, go to Greenville, because she lives in a smaller town. And she's like, go to Greenville, it's up and coming. And that was like 10, 11 years ago, right? And we got here and we went around to different houses, because originally we just wanted to buy a house. And then the realtor said, you know what, you're moving here, you don't really know what the area is like. Don't get a house and then hate the area. Get an apartment first and get a feel for it. So then we looked at different apartments and we found one that we liked and we applied for that apartment, and that's when it became real. So you want to go and live in Georgia, you want to be in a space where you go, you look at homes, you look at apartments, you look at prices, you look at deposits, you start to do what you need to do to set it in motion, where it's not just a wish, but it's a goal. It's something that you're going to actualize, especially if it's something that you want to bring into fruition within a year or two, right? You got to start to get the ball rolling. And so we started that vision, and then a few months later, we were here. So I want you to be in a space where you can start to create your bucket list. And I'm kind of going through different types of concepts and ideas of things that you should be thinking about. But these are a lot of the things that we talked about as part of the Girl Boss experience. So I said to you, where do you want to be next year? What do you want to be in 3 years? I said to you, what kind of tools and resources do you want to be using right now? What kind of tools and resources do you want to be using in the future? I just took leave from a job. I have been working for over 7 years. Wow, that's huge. What do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? Sometimes you have to let go and move on. Absolutely. One of the ladies who came out, beautiful spirit, is expecting, and she's like, you know what, I decided to leave my job, and then a couple of weeks later, bam, I was pregnant. And I was like, that was me. I mean, when I had Christopher, in the time that I had my son, I decided to leave my job, and then everything happened in New York, and Christopher was 6 months when we moved from New York to North Carolina. So moved, new state, new baby, no job, so new life. And all of these things were happening at once, right? You know, every time you think about bucket list and what you want, it's like I'm trying to work for the right timing to get all the pieces together. And I'm telling you, there was no pieces right in that part. There was a whole lot of hell going on. But everything happened at the divine right time that it was supposed to, right? So if right now you transitioning from that space, you just got to work through it and figure out what the next step is for you. Bless God, I transitioned to North Carolina because the cost of living, I always tell you guys, so much less than New York. But when you think about what you want, you got to think about how you're going to position yourself and create a space for you to achieve. I couldn't be able to nickel and dime my way through entrepreneurship, without being in a place where the cost of living allowed me to do that. When we were living in my apartment here in North Carolina, I was spending not even $600 in rent. I was like, as long as I have a G, and I can eat, keep the lights on, I'm good. And I nickel and dime my way to today being in a space where we transitioned, right? But you've got to be able to, you know, cut cable this or cut Starbucks every day that, or, you know, sometimes people go, I don't know how you can live in North Carolina. I can't leave my New York. Well, you keep that. You keep that New York lifestyle, because my mortgage is less than what most of them paying in rent. And so I'm like, at the end of the day, I take this any day. The birds chirping, the sun is shining. I don't got in the back of me. I don't got in the back of me. I take that any day. But I had to suck my salt, as they say, and deal with a lot of sacrifice And when my son was younger, we didn't have a car. When we just moved to North Carolina, you can't be in the South without a car. I didn't have car money, so it was walk or take the bus or use his stroller as what we call the Escalade, and go to the grocery and put all his stuff on the side of the stroller, because that was our Escalade. But that's what you need to do to get your bucket list to come true. You know what I mean? And now when I got my car, it had 8,000 miles on it. Now my car has like 120,000 miles on it, because we gonna ride you to the wheels fall off. But that's another thing too. One of the things on my bucket list is, as a business owner, it's okay, now it's time to put little Betsy, at the side, put her, give her a break and get a new one. It's time to get a new car. But you got to get really clear and intentional about what you want. Oop, I thought I had a guess, but no. Just I'm power pausing for a second, y'all. Yes. Oh, you're fine? Oh. Yeah. So one of the things that we talked about, like I said to you at the very beginning, was me thinking about for myself, okay, this is a goal of mine. I want to work on that. I want to work on getting better at video. Are there any business goals that you have for yourself, whether it be products that you want to create or marketing efforts that you want to try? What are some of your business goals right now? One of the sessions that we have as part of the Girl Boss experience is, I said, I'm going to share with you my personal list of profit projects. And that was awesome, because I shared about 5 different types of projects that I'm working on. And I'll give you a little bit of that right now, just to kind of get you in a space where you're thinking about for yourself what kind of products and what kind of experiences you want to create inside of your business and also for yourself. So Rebecca says, I want to create my first product. Awesome. Now, just as a side note, I don't know if you know this, but I mentioned before, at sistersense.com/girl boss. One of the opportunities there is to participate in the virtual that I'm going to do next weekend. But number 2, the opportunity for you to be in my mastermind for the summer, 90 days, 3 months, $30. Now, I share that with you because that's an opportunity for you to access the how to create your first digital product, and the experience, the training, the first 4 weeks. I mean, we're in 90 days in. We're almost done with content creation. But what I'm going to do is ensure that the ladies who are coming in right now can start from the very beginning of the challenge. So you're going to get the first 30 days so that you can learn how to create your first digital product, and I break it all the way down in that training. Now keep in mind, you're going to get access to the mastermind for 3 months, 90 days, for $30. So if you're in a space where on your bucket list, one of your priorities, like Rebecca, is working on creating your products, that's certainly something that I'm going to share with you inside of the mastermind. You just need to go to sistersense.com/girl boss, and then you'll see that one of the options there is to sign up for the 90-day mastermind experience for $30. All right, so just in case that's something that you want to do. Maybe number 1, you want to create products like Rebecca, or number 2, you want to create a new form of product. So this is, for me, I'm going to tell you there's so many levels to Girl Boss that I absolutely love. Right now, one of the things that I've been doing is I've been creating a lot of workbooks and worksheets, because I'm an infopreneur. So I'm good at creating, you do this, you do this, you do this, you do this. But I also wanted to create more, okay, write down your thoughts, write down your process, write down your notes, so that in addition to creating the content, there's more planners and worksheets for the people that I work with. So one of the things that we did inside of Girl Boss this weekend is I shared with the ladies, and I actually gave them templates so that they could get their information out of their head, create the information, and then create worksheets to go with it. So this is actually a template, the Girl Boss template that I'm sharing with you now. You see it's got questions. I know, right? Love worksheets. It's got questions and it's got the lines in it. So we walked through a process of going through 21 questions. One of the sessions is on 21 questions that, you know, your people, they need to answer. So we walk through the session and I help the ladies come up with their content, and then they're able to take those questions and then pop it into this worksheet, save it as a PDF, and then have a product to share with their audience. Now think about that. How many of you've got all this stuff in your head and you're like, but my product isn't done yet, or my worksheet isn't done yet, or I want to do a workbook and it's not done yet. We did that this weekend. It was about content creation plus relaxation for real. And so when I went through the mastermind unwind session, that was like an evening session on Saturday, I said, these are some questions I want you to answer. I pulled up this template, I popped in those questions, I printed it out, and I was like, here is your I was like, here it is, all for you. So I want you to be in a space where if you feel like there are things that you want to create inside of the Girl Boss Weekend Workshop, we can do that relatively quickly. And this is actually, number one, you're going to get the full worksheet with all the questions that I have here, but you're also going to get the template so that you can come up with your 21 questions that you want to ask your people, and then put it in the template and share that document with them. Because one of the things that you need to do is, not only do you need to be asking yourself the right questions to figure out what you want, but if you want to be in a space where you help people live in their purpose and transform their lives, you need to start thinking, okay, well, what are the questions that my people need to be asking? And then creating a space for them to do just that. So actually, before we left the hotel, one of the last activities I had with my ladies, because I like to do video, as you can tell, is we did a video marketing session. And I had all the ladies do video. And basically, for some of you who saw when I had my birthday weekend and I was at the Aloft, all of the videos and the locations I did my good, I had them there as well so they could create theirs. So one of the things that I want to be able to do is to share with you how to produce your content, how to be comfortable, and how to ask questions to your existing audience. So quite a few of the ladies created these awesome videos, and they were asking their people, here's one thing I want you to think about today. Here's one question I want you to ask yourself today. And that's a huge experience, because maybe some of you, anybody scared when it comes to creating content and putting yourself out there? And some of you just may be a little bit afraid to just put the content out there. Maybe you're afraid to do video. Maybe you're afraid to put your face out there. I mean, we had really good conversations about anxiety. We had conversations about, you know, body image, about, you know, one of my clients is like, oh, I don't like the way I sound, you know. All of these things sometimes hold you back, and you're in a space where you want to fulfill your bucket list, but you've got these things. Somebody said all of the above. You want to fulfill your bucket list. You want to be a content creation machine, but these things are holding you back, right? And I want you to be able to be in a space where we can have those kind of conversations. And I want you to be in a space where you can ask the same questions of your people, because it's not just you. None of us are alone in this process. I had one of my ladies and she was like, okay, I don't want to do video because of this and that. And I was like, you know, I got my own this and that. I don't like this. I don't like that fat. But guess what? I'm still jumping on here and doing my video. And when I watch it, sometimes I'll be like, ooh, girl, I don't like that angle. I don't like the way that's looking right now. But you just got to get out of your head. At the end of the day, it's okay to not be okay. It just is. Sometimes we overanalyze ourselves more than the people who are actually watching us. And sometimes the people who are watching us and they're overanalyzing us and saying things that trigger us is just a distraction to deter us from our success. So you can let those things deter you and prevent you from being just who you are naturally and just accepting that, not perfectly. Because there, again, I have some cringeworthy moments where I'm like, really, I need you to delete that video right now. I don't like the way you look in that video. And I'm like, stop. You ain't Oprah. Okay? So if Oprah can deal with millions of billions of people telling her X, Y, or Z, you just have to deal with that too. You know, it's funny, as I share with that story with you and I think about the importance of creating your own personal girl boss, I'm trying to lift it up here, your own personal girl boss bucket list. I was listening to one of my heroes, one of my entrepreneurial heroes recently, And he was talking about someone who had the philosophy of just going out and doing things that were strange and unconventional. And you think, well, why do you want to be different? Why do you want to stand out? Like, why do you want to, like, you know, wear your underwear over your jeans, right? You know, he didn't do that specifically, but just do random things that make you uncomfortable. And he said it was a training experience to intentionally do things that you know people are going to remark on to build a tougher skin. Because he said, listen, if I can tolerate, and the person who was sharing this, by the way, he said, you know, I grew my beard out and everybody says they don't like the way it looks and it's not something that they would do, and I should cut off the beard and it doesn't fit me, right? Tequila says, I don't watch my videos after I record them. I upload it, I keep going. Right? Because you don't want to have that moment of, I don't like how I look, and delete it, right? But he said, I'm listening to, and he has thousands of viewers, right? I'm listening to all these people tell me how much they don't like my beard, and I'm keeping it. He's like, I don't even like it, but I'm keeping it because I have to learn that none of that really matters. All the comments and all the feelings of what will they think. I actually did a podcast a few weeks ago on how to overcome what people think of you, or what you think they're going to think, that make you feel resistant to creating because you're like, oh my God, what will they think when I come out with this, right? He's like, I'm keeping it because I've got to understand that there are bigger fish to fry and there are more important things, and I have to be prepared to take the judgment and take the ridicule and take the criticism in order for me to become a better me. So that's the hard part of the bucket list. It's not even just about what you want. It's about what you are willing to go through, what you are willing to hear people say about you that may not feel good, but allows you to be in a space where you can, as they say in entrepreneurship, you can put some skin in the game. You may get a few hurt feelings every now and again, but it's what you got to do to power through. So I'm going to continue to ask you just a few more questions here. And as I'm doing this, I want you to be able to share, for those of you who are watching me live, to share what are some things that you're like, yes, I want to do that. I want to do that as well. Now, here's a question for you. And this is for those of you who are in a space where you're creating content, because there are varying conversations that I have inside of this ultimate bucket list for girl bosses. One of the questions is, what live stream or webinar sessions do you want to host? What live stream or webinar sessions do you want to host, right? Rebecca says the mastermind on that page. Really? You sure? sistersense.com/girlboss. There should be 3 links there for you right now. The link to watch the live stream, the link for you to learn more about the upcoming virtual, and then the link to also get that 30-day pass. Hey, Catherine Mack, welcome. If it's not there for you, I'm pretty sure I put it up there, but I'm going to go and double check just to make sure as soon as I finish this webinar. So if it's not there now, it should be. But my girl TC, Tequila. Tequila, can you do me a favor and check that for me too, boo? But I'll double check for you as well, okay? So they were there before and they disappeared? That's strange because I haven't changed anything. I've been sitting here on this porch with y'all. So they should be there. But okay, you know what? I'm going to do this. The birds are chirping. Give me 60 seconds to go upstairs to double check for my boo right now to make sure that the page is doing what it's supposed to do. It's not doing something funky. And what y'all can do is, number 1, for me, if this is something that you're enjoying, feel free to share it. Number 2, leave a few comments for me. Let me know what's on your girl boss bucket list right now, whether it's projects you want to work on, where you see yourself next year or in 3 years, what you want as far as technology tools or web tools. Think about these questions right now and drop them in there. Okay, so I'm going to double check that. I'm going to double check that for you right now, and then I'll be right back. So 60 seconds, y'all. Just enjoy the porch and the swinging. And I will be right back. Oh, one of my ladies just sent me a message and said, I'm on a plane. I cannot believe in 24 hours, ladies literally flew out to be a part of the Girl Boss experience, right? It's, that's strange. All right, so let me see what's going on upstairs, and I'll be right back in 60 seconds, y'all. Just enjoy watching the swing. I think Daddy's computer. All right, ladies. Can you check it for me again? I'm back. Woo! Back on the porch. Back on the porch. Sounds like peace of mind. That's on my bucket list. Ooh, boo. For real. Some serious peace of mind. Woo! Always on the bucket list. And then I just come out here sometimes and, well, I'll take print out at like 10 o'clock or 11 o'clock and just sit in the dark and just be just completely at peace. It's back. Thanks. You're welcome. I don't know what happened. That's the devil right there. Trying to be distracted. All right, y'all. But if it goes away, just let me know and I'll come and drop it right back in there for you. So one of the questions that I have for you is, what live stream or webinar sessions do you want to host? What sessions do you want to do absolutely live for you, your community, for people to come on and have conversations with you? This is one of my bucket list conversations right now. I want to be in a space where I can come on here and share what's happening in my community right now so you can get a little piece of that good. I wish all of you were here with me this weekend. It was wonderful. It was blessed. It was completely covered. And I don't know if you've ever tried to plan something. Like every year I have my virtual conference in January, not my virtual, my physical workshop in January, and I plan that bad boy out. For me, just being able to do this in 24 hours and pull it off and have this amazing weekend is God, nothing but God, nothing but the grace of God. And I say that because it just was. So I said I had to come home and do a live stream to give you a piece of girl boss because I wanted the experience to go on a little bit longer so that we can have some fun together no matter where you guys are, and I can infuse some of that positivity, love, energy, and support to kind of get you motivated to do what you need to do. So think about that. What's happening in your life? What's happening in your business? What is covered? What is working? What is something that you're like, I need to pour into my community and share with them so that you can be in a space where you're inspiring people to do what they need to do? Because sometimes it isn't necessarily that we need to give people every single strategy. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the love, my dear. You don't always have to share strategy, tactic. Sometimes you just being you and living in your truth and being a light gives people the courage and the inspiration to live in their truth and be a light. So what kind of live stream or webinar presentation can you do to give people that? Not just the I'm going to teach you, because I know, like my girl Tequila, I know that you're talking to your women out there who are single, who are in situations where they were with their partners and their partners left them to raise their kids on their own, right? Tequila is in a space where she's creating a space for single mothers. What's happening in your life that creates love, that creates light with you? And trust me, when I see Tequila's babies on Facebook, I'm like, I need all of them. I'm about to come and snatch all your babies because they're adorable. What is happening in your world that gives you love, light, and energy that you want to create a live stream around to get people an opportunity to just kind of see a little bit of that sunshine for them? I love that idea. I used to be an event planner, so I know the impact of creating a space and an experience. Absolutely. It's all about creating an experience for people. So think about that. What kind of conversations can you have with your community and create that bucket list for them? Oh my goodness. Girl, you know they cute. You could be like, girl, I make some cute babies. Right? Adorable. Absolutely adorable. So I want you to think about that, because I want you to plan out some videos so that you can say, man, I did that. I got that off my bucket list. One of the things that I wanted to do was I wanted to do live stream every day, and that was really, really hard for me. So I said, okay, I'm going to commit to 30 days, and I'm going to do 30 days of maintain your momentum. That was on my bucket list, and I checked it off because that's my girl boss thing, right? What am I going to do to take myself to that next level? And for me, getting that in that space where I could commit to at least for 30 days consistency and do a live stream. And I know some of you would be so happy if I did these every day or at least twice a week, and I'm not quite there yet. But you got to think about for yourself, do you want to create a space where you're doing it a little bit more often, but you cannot quite commit to the ongoing? Because that was me. But I created that space where I said, okay, on my bucket list, I want to do it for at least 30 days, and I did it. One of the things that I did as part of the Girl Boss Weekend was I shared with the ladies how to not only create digital content, because a lot of you want to create digital content, and I do that all day, every day. But also we talked about how to create physical stuff too. So not just simply printing out worksheets, but creating physical content that you can sell and repurpose on your platforms. And so I share that because I remember when I created my magazine. Oh, and I gave the ladies some good. They got their Sister Sense bags. They got tripods this weekend. They got workbooks this weekend. They got magazines. They got a whole lot of stuff for me this weekend. But I always bring the good when I have my events. And I said, you know what? when I made my magazine, I was really scared about it because I was like, LaShanda, you're going to start this and you're going to stop it and you're not going to commit. So I told myself I have to do 6 magazines. I have to keep going, keep going, keep going. And that was on my bucket list. So you want to think about for yourself, number one, the kind of experiences that you want to create for your people, what kind of live streams or webinar videos you want to create. But when you have this conversation about what kind of products you want to create, what do you want to do on an ongoing basis or in a particular time period that you're like, I gotta get this off my bucket list. I have to make this happen. So like some people want to jump off of mountains and skydive and do that just as their personal life goal bucket list. We're talking about your business and the things that you say, I have to achieve, I have to commit to for nobody else but me. Right? Things that make you 100% happy. That's the kind of thing that you have to think about and envision for yourself, right? So let's keep going. And you guys can drop in the comment box and let me know some things that you say, you know, I absolutely have to do this. Like for me, committing to creating consistently the magazine issues was a big thing. Committing to at least 30 days of live stream was a big thing. I had to knock those off and be like, yes, I did it. What are some things that in your mind and in your heart right now, you're like, I have to do this. I have to do this. I have to commit to this for a certain amount of time to make that happen. Okay? Now, again, feel free to drop those in the comment box for me. And as you're doing that, I'm going to share an interesting story that I had with my girl, my partner, my business bestie. And it's funny because my son and I, we went out to get some food this weekend. And he was like, didn't you come to see your friend? And I was like, yeah, I came to see my friend Rochelle. She's my business bestie. And he's like, you're what? I was like, she's my business he was like, she can't be a business friend and a best friend too. And I was like, yes she can. Me and Rochelle go back like 2008, 2009. I'm like, she could be both. So it's so funny because in that experience, one of the things that we were talking about is understanding that you have to master your craft. You have to master your craft. And I want you to think about something that maybe is challenging for you right now. What's super, super challenging for you right now? But you say, listen, I got to do this. I have to achieve this. So like the person who says, listen, I need to climb to the top of that mountain before I die. That's on my bucket list. What's something that's on your bucket list that maybe is hard or intimidating or challenging that you're like, I got to do this? And some of these things are things that we take for granted. So for example, Rochelle and I were having a conversation about webinars. And one of the challenges for a lot of entrepreneurs is, man, I did a webinar and I did Facebook ads, and everybody says you do the webinar, that people buy, you make money. They say you do the Facebook ads, people see your stuff, you blow up, you make money. Well, I did the Facebook ads and I did the webinar and nobody bought. Anybody ever experienced that? Either you invested money into an advertising campaign or you tried to do some sort of promotional webinar and you were super excited about the possibility of things working out based on other people, what they convinced you or what you believed or what you were praying for, and things didn't quite work out the way you wanted it to. That is an interesting place to be. Anybody ever been there before? I saw some hearts, by the way. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the love. I share that because in one of the conversations that I had with Rochelle, she said, you know what? There's this really amazing marketer, and he says, people think that you do the webinar and you do it that one time. And he said, the reality is you got to do that one webinar 50 times. You literally got to do that webinar like 4 or 5 times a day and not change a word in the script. You need to memorize it. You need to perfect it. You need to optimize it. And people get it twisted because every day they're trying to do a different type of webinar. Well, that didn't work. That type of content didn't work. Let me switch it up. Let me say something different. Let me sell something different. Maybe if I price it this way. Maybe if I drop it like it's hot. Maybe if I talk about this. Maybe if I do this business versus thinking that it's not the webinar process that's not working. It's not the Facebook ads that's not working. It's me. It's my content. It's my price. Let me keep switching and switching and switching. He said, listen. You thinking you do that one webinar one time and you blow up. You need to do that webinar 4 times a day, all month, for 2 months, for 3 months, till you master it, till you breathe it, till it just becomes so natural to you that all you doing is converting. And a lot of people, they don't realize that your bucket list isn't necessarily just the things that come easily or the things that are highly desired, but it's the things that make you feel like you walked or climbed that mountain in your mind and in your heart. So for me, being in a space where you can, if you say, for example, these webinars ain't working for me, these ads ain't working for me, and it's a challenge, you rise to the challenge and you're like, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to switch up. I'm not going to turn away and run. I'm going to master this. I'm going to keep doing this. I'm going to rock out because I am determined to crack this nut. I am determined to climb this virtual mountain. That's on my bucket list. Think about that. What are the things that you find to be really challenging and hard that don't necessarily work, but for whatever reason, there's something within you internally that won't let you stop? Anybody ever feel like that? Like there's things that, however hard it may be or frustrating it may be, however many people tell you, girl, you crazy, why you still doing that thing? It ain't making you no money. You keep chipping away at it. It's on your bucket list, right? It's one of those things that you need to figure out how to accomplish. What is that thing? What is that thing or things, right? I want you to think about that. The only way for you to get to what you want is if you keep working at it. You don't switch lanes. You master your craft. That was one of the big conversations we had. Being in a space, in our mastermind unwind, being in a space where you really dig in and master your craft. And don't find yourself in a place of misconception when you're like, it's just happening easily or naturally for other people, and they can do one webinar and then sit back and all this money is coming in, or they can do that launch sequence and then sit back and all this money is coming in, and not realizing that there are so many other pieces to the puzzle, and there are so many failures that you have to go through, so many times that you have to fall on your face, like me, so many times that you got to wake up and go, what the hell did you just do? I sent y'all an email at 11:30 at night and said, hey, I want to do a workshop this weekend. Anybody in? I mean, come on. And then 4:30 in the morning was like, oh my God. That was so impulsive. What did you do? And then by 8 o'clock, just say, it's okay. It's okay. It's going to work out. And it did. It did. I left the house at like 3 or 4 o'clock. We were packed. We were ready to go. We were en route to the hotel and ready to meet people and speak. And I had a great workshop this weekend. But you just have to keep powering through if you want to get your wins. So I'm going to share with you 2 more questions from the Ultimate Girl Boss guide here that, by the way, you'll be able to access when you sign up to the virtual version of Girl Boss Weekend. I'm going to have a weekend workshop just for you. You can sign up to the virtual version at sistersense.com/girlboss. That's number 1. And of course, number 2, if you would like to rock out with me all summer, you can participate in my mastermind, the Firestarter Circle, literally 90 days, 3 months, $30. I have created for you the new mastermind level that allows you to gain access to the live sessions and the replay for that month, along with you getting access to 6 fabulous courses too. Plus, I want to make sure that you can get access to the Create digital products the first 30 days, so that every week for 4 weeks I am sharing with you what you need to do to work on a content marketing calendar and also work on creating your first digital products. So listen, if you're interested in any or all of the above, you can visit sistersense.com, SISTASENSE, that's me, sistersense.com/girl boss. All right, so 2 more questions that I'm going to wrap up for today so I can snuggle and have some family time with my son and my hubby. But let's keep going with this conversation around some things that you need to do, okay? So here's one of the things that I want you to think about. What do you want to do more or less of? And what do you want to have other people do for you? Okay, so this is a 2-part question. And the mosquitoes are coming, y'all. It's starting to get dark and the mosquitoes are coming out. It's starting to eat me up. It's time to go. So the first question is, what do you want to do more of versus less of? Okay, so on your bucket list, you want to think about that. That's number 2. I'll sign up for the 30-day pass, and it's June. Am I late because summer has started? Please let me know. You're not late. You're right on time. Our next live session is coming up on Tuesday, so you'll be right on time for the first live session for June, and you'll be able to participate in the trainings for the month. So you're good. You're good. Great question, by the way. So if I miss any of your questions and I don't see some of your comments, feel free to email sistersense@gmail.com. And you see me rubbing on my arm, right? Because the mosquitoes are coming. But the first question on your bucket list, if you had everything that you needed and it was an absolutely perfect world, what would you do more of, right? Number 1. And number 2, what do you want to do less of? So I have things on my personal bucket list that I don't want to do no more. Right? So I'm like, I don't want to do this in a year from now. I don't want to do this in 2 years from now. And they're on my list. So I'm working towards chopping them off, right? And then I have things that, oh my gosh, in a perfect world, if I could do that like for 20 hours a day, every day, I'll be like, yes, right? So what do you want to do more of versus less of? Feel free to just kind of have that internal for you, versus if it's comfortable, drop it in the comment box and let us know. You know, be able to put the comment, be able to put the phrase, be able to put that task out into the universe and ask for what you want. It's funny because one of the ladies who participated in my circle, so love her to death, and she's been ride or die with me for well over 10 years. She was one of the first ladies who was a part of my Women of Color coaching program many, many years ago. And she came out to see me, flew from Atlanta. And I share her story with you because you have to be in a space where you think about for yourself where you want to be and what you want to do more of and what you want to do less of. And I want to do more of that. I want to do more of being in a space where I create these long-term, amazing relationships with these women who I grow with over time. And sometimes I have to say, okay, I can't jump on live stream and hang out with you today because I have all these web projects to do. You know, I want to spend more time with you, right? So you want to think about that. I want to do more of these 2, 4, 5 people, 5 women workshops. If I could do one of these every weekend, yes, that would be awesome, right? I want to do more of these things. So you want to think about for yourself, what are things that you want to do more of versus less of, right? And then drop that into the comment box, right? Those things that you want to be able to transition out of versus to bring into your life. Now, this particular young lady that I'm thinking about right now, when I sent her the message and I said, hey, you know, are you in? Are you coming this weekend? She was like, listen, she said, I swear to goodness, I was sitting here thinking to myself, I need some sister sense. I'm actually going to share her video because she says this in a video. I was sitting here thinking to myself, I really need a sister sense getaway. And then I got your email and I was like, yes! She was like, okay, LaShanda, I just got to work, but I am going to this evening work it out. And then by like 12 o'clock, she was like, look, I booked my flight. I booked my hotel. I'll see you in the morning. She was like, because I was just praying for a sister sense getaway and ask the universe and it provides, right? So it's so important to ask yourself, to ask the universe, to ask your higher power for what you want and be specific because it will be provided to you. Everything that you need is right in front of you, literally for you to grab. It's some of them are a little bit invisible because you got to have the faith to even in darkness touch and reach out towards it and be like, I can't see it, but I know it's there, right? And so being in a space where you can ask for more of what you want versus less of what you don't want, so important, right? That was the first question I had for you. Number 2, I said, what do you want to delegate? What do you want other people to do for you versus what you really, really, really just want to focus on doing for yourself? And that's a big one too, because you have to get in a space where you know, listen, this is what I want to do versus what I don't want to do. Now, it's funny, when I think about that, when I started to create information products, I love to write. So I was like, yeah, I want to create all these cool ebooks, right? And then I want to say in the last few years, a lot of my courses have been video based and audio based, right? So I'm jumping on doing trainings, or I'm doing a lot of audio recording. So I really, really want to have a lot of my content, like my new cash flow goals series and my money magnet series. I really want to have a lot of my content in the form of ebooks and physical books, but I don't want to do it. So I'm in a process of working on getting other people to do it for me, so I can turn these things that are audio and video based into books that I can then repurpose, because of course I'm the repurposed queen, right? So yeah, I could sit down and write out all this stuff, but it's a lot of stuff, and you know I got a whole lot of good all up and around my shop. So I really don't want to be in a space where I am transcribing or breaking down these audios. I just want to pay somebody else to do it for me. So real talk, you need to be in a space where you think about for yourself. I'm a web designer, by the way, right? So webdesign.sistersense.com. I build people's websites. Why? Because they're like, listen, LaShanda, I love this and I love this and I love this about my business. Building the website is not one of the things that I love. So you do that and I'll do this, right? So on your bucket list, I want you to be able to create a space where you're having conversations around things that fundamentally you want to do versus things that you would love other people to do for you. And whether you got the funds for that extra support or not, when you put it out there and you prepare for that, I believe energy and everything else will align to create a space for you to get what you need. So like my client who said, you know what, I really needed a sister, not just any getaway. She said, I needed some LaShanda time. I needed a Sister Sense getaway. And then all of a sudden I got your email and I was like, this is for me right here. You've got to be in a space where you really start to, even when you don't feel like you've got the funds or the time or the means to say, I need you and you to help me. You're putting that around you so that people will come to you at the right time. Sometimes you'll find that you don't even need the money. Like, you know, I need my house to be fixed. I need a plumber. I need an accountant. I need a coach. And you find that you get this person maybe jumping on live stream with like me, right, with you right now. You get this person pouring into you absolutely free, and you needed that. But you didn't have money to have a $50 or $100 coaching session, right? You didn't have that right now, right? Maybe you find that really right now, what you needed more of was strategy. You needed a mastermind. You needed a community, but you didn't have $100 a month to be a part of my community. And now I'm like, girl, you could be in here for $30 for the whole summer. And you like, Lord, did you hear me when I said I needed a support group? And she's telling me I could do this for 90 days for $30. Woo! Right? But you got to ask for what you want. So those two questions are the last two questions I'm going to share with you while I wrap up. Number one, what do you want to do more of versus less of? Number two, what do you actually want to do yourself versus what have other people do for you? And these are some of the fabulous questions inside of the Ultimate Girl Boss bucket list that I created for the fabulous ladies who participated in my Girl Boss weekend. And of course, I'm going to do the virtual version of Girl Boss next weekend. So if you want to participate in that 3-hour intensive with me virtually, plus a few of my business besties, the ladies in my mastermind, you can certainly join us at sistersense.com/girlboss, whether you are participating live or via the replay. I always have some good for you. Specifically, we're going to have conversations around how to create content, how to create killer content, number one. Number two, I'm going to walk you through my own personal list of profit